What's going on? What's going on, everybody? YouTube family. Everybody who has subscribed so far, all the people who are commenting, who are being interactive in my videos. I really appreciate it. That makes me want to keep making content and making more videos. And hopefully as time goes on, I'll get more subscribers and I'll just keep doing my thing. So thank you, everybody. So I had somebody message me and they told me that they're pretty much it's almost time for them to get out of the Army, but they came up on recruiting orders and they're dual military, if I'm not mistaken, and they wanted to know, is recruiting worth staying in a little bit longer and experiencing that, or should they just get out? So I'm gonna answer the question. Also, I guess, how does it work with dual military? So I can only go off of my experiences. I can go off of the experiences that I've had with other recruiting friends. For those of you who do not know, my name is Sergeant Galashaw. I am an Army career counselor and recruiter. I am recruiting out of Nacogdoches. I've been in the Army for 7 years so far. This is my 7th year in the Army. All right. I experienced the frontline side. That's all I know. I've only been recruiting and a career counselor for 6 months. So, I've done this for a minute. And I pretty much just go over the pros and cons of recruiting compared to the front lines, and my honest personal opinion. Like I said in all my videos, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So the pros of being a Army career counselor / recruiter. All right, the difference between this and the front lines is on the pros are there's no field, there's no 24-hour CQ, there's no deployments. You know what I'm saying? You're going home every night. You have no soldiers. It's just you. All right. You're pretty much like a civilian. Everything is on you. Now I can't speak for. I can only speak for where I'm at. But where I'm at, there is no formations. There's no company formations. There's no battalion formations. When you go on leave, you don't have to send it up, and they got to go to all these different people. Over here, when we put in leave, we just you don't have to sign into the battalion to sign in for leave and sign out, and none of that. When you go on leave, you literally just you fill out the form, you send it to your station commander, he sends it to the commander, it'll come back to you like within 24 hours to 48 hours, your leave's been approved. And you just go on leave and you come do whatever you're gonna do, and you come back to the station when it's time for you to come back. All right. Like I said, you go home every day or every night. You don't have no soldiers. So it's just pretty much you a civilian. There's no duty station. You don't see nobody else in the military. Wherever you, like I said, it depends, because you could be at a recruiting station that's near a duty station. But where I'm at, the nearest duty station is Fort Hood, which is 4 hours away, and Fort Polk, which is 4 hours away the other way, I believe. So when you're in uniform and you're going out, nobody, like, you're special. Nobody sees this. So when they see you in uniform, this is new to people. Like, they're shocked. Every time I go out, I'm getting thank you for your service. Like, people offering to pay for my food, my groceries, all the time. Like, people, and then the location, that's important as well. I'm in Texas, so Texas is very military friendly. So with my experience, like, I've had nothing but positive experiences with the civilians. I've been pulled over like 3 times by the police, and they've all given me, like, they didn't do anything. There was no warning or nothing. They just straight saluted me and was like, "Going about your day, don't even worry about it." So that's my experience. Also, if you decide to convert, then they offer a $50,000 bonus, and after taxes, you get like 38,000. So this might be a route that you want to take. Now let's get to the cons. The cons is there's a mission. Okay, so there is a mission, and it never ends. It is a constant cycle, and it never ends. And it feels like it doesn't matter how much you do, it doesn't mean anything. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Another pro, and this is the God honest truth. When every single person that I enlist, and they go off in the world, and they're doing their thing, and they're coming and contacting me, and they're thanking me, and they're letting me know, and I'm seeing how they are doing and how they're prospering and things of that nature. It is one of the greatest feelings in the world. I can't describe it. Like, to know that I played a part in them, in helping them shape their career and their life decisions. Like, I played a part in them making a decision with their lives that ended up bettering themselves. And it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. Some of the cons. The cons are military recruiters, army career counselors. We have a stigma. They think that a lot of people have stereotypes, and they think that we all lie and things of that nature. You could deal with people who really, they despise the military. If you end up being stationed or recruiting out of a state that isn't military friendly, because all states in the United States of America are not military friendly, it can be extremely difficult to communicate and talk to people because they're not trying to hear what you got to say. All right. There's a chance you could work long hours. If your station is not making mission, then you probably going to have to work long hours, like where you're not getting off till 7 or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at the most. If you don't like to talk to people, you aren't going to make it out here, because you have to be able to talk to people. You got to be able to communicate with people. You have to be able to go out. You got to be creative. You got to figure out ways to be able to reach people and to communicate with people to get their interest. The Army has a reputation. When people think of the military and they think of war, Army is the number one that they always think negatively about when it comes to that. Air Force is always the number one branch that if people feel like they're going to join the military, they want to go to the Air Force. Army is like almost the last, for whatever, like we have a stereotype and it's just the way it is. So it could be extremely difficult. You're on a mission. All right. So depending on the size of your station, whether small, medium, or large, determines the mission. I am at a small station, so our mission is fairly okay. We would normally have to do 3. This month we got to do 5. All right. And it's only me, one other recruiter, and my station commander. So between us 3, we have to, we're expected to enlist 5 people for the month. All right. So where I'm at, the population isn't that great. We cover a large span of East Texas. We cover like over 5 to 6 different cities, all hours apart. So it makes it extremely difficult. We travel a lot. And like I said, like it could take its toll on you. Doing this could take its toll on you, because this recruiting is the one of the few, or probably the only job in the Army where you can do everything that you're supposed to do correctly and you still you won't succeed. This job, you could do everything how you're supposed to do it, but things just might not work the way that they're supposed to work. Your success depends on too many people. You could work with an applicant, spoke with the applicant's parents. They probably were out of shape. You helped them get back in shape. You was working out with them on a regular basis. You helped them study to get prepared for the ASVAB. They passed the ASVAB. You built their whole packet, which takes hours to do. You did all this stuff. You've been working with them for months. They can go to MEPS to do their physical, and when it's time to enlist, they can say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. And now you don't have anybody, because you've been spending all your time with this person, and they have the God-given right to decide not to enlist. And to higher ups, it looks like you're not doing anything. So despite all of that, you still could be considered a dirtbag despite the work that you put in. Or you could be extremely successful. You're putting in people, you're enlisting people, you're changing lives and all of that. But as the station as a whole isn't making mission, so when higher ups are coming down, the station as a whole is still getting treated as if y'all aren't producing. So even though you're doing your part, you have to do even more work to be able to help out the station, and it gets extremely draining. Recruiting never ends and never stops. There's no time limit to this. In order for you to be successful, you're going to have to work outside of the 9 to 5. You're going to have to prospect. You're going to have to find people on your own on the weekends and the evenings when you go out, whatever the case is. You're not going to be able to achieve your mission in just that 9 to 5. You have to work outside of those hours, and it can get extremely mentally exhausting and physically exhausting. And if you feel like I'm putting in all this work and I'm not getting, it's no return to it, and the cycle just keeps continuing. It's never a relaxed cycle where you make mission and you could just chill and relax. Even if you make mission, they're still going to expect you to put in even more people. It doesn't end. It does not end. You achieved the mission. You did all this work, and literally the next week, the cycle starts all over again, and you got to do this all over again. So if you're at a big station and there are a lot of recruiters at your station, you could have a toxic environment, because if you decide to become a recruiter now, everybody's expected to put in at least one person, right? So if you are at a big station, you might be assigned a certain area or a certain school. And if other recruiters are trying to make sure they get their one person, they might go underhanded and go to your areas or go to your schools to get some of your people that was for you, they was assigned to you to take from you so that they can get their people. And don't go to a station where they're giving incentives. Now, recruiters, we do not get bonuses for enlisting anybody. We don't. Only thing that we get is time. Whether you enlist or not, we all going to continue to get paid what we've been getting paid. It's just that if we don't make mission, it just means it's more work for us. And it's just higher ups like crunching down and putting more pressure on us. So that's how sometimes you'll see recruiters where they might be a little bit pushy with soldiers or with future soldiers or applicants who are interested in enlisting. There'll be times where you'll be working with somebody and they're job specific and they want a specific job, but that job just isn't available. There's no opening for it. And then you have higher ups telling you this person is fully qualified, get him in. Try to get them to pick another job, and you don't want to do that. I don't do that. I'm not going to make somebody, so you're getting pressured to get this person to enlist, despite the fact that they might end up not having the job that they wanted and things of that nature. It's just, it could be hectic, So, overall, that's the pros, and like for me, like that's the gist of it. I want to keep this video kind of short, but that's just the gist of the pros and cons of recruiting compared to the front lines. I miss the front lines, to be honest with you. I miss having soldiers. I miss that camaraderie, and I miss that platoon and that army feeling. But at the same time, I do like being a civilian. I do like, I come home every day. I do my own thing. I work out on my own. I travel. I go all over Texas. I'm in a state that I've always wanted to be in. I love it out here. I love not being around other soldiers to where when I'm out in uniform, people are amazed to see me. It is a good feeling. I love changing the lives of people. I really do truly love enlisting people. I love getting people the jobs that they want. I love seeing people go forth, go through basic, go through AIT, graduate, hit me up. I have relationships with these future soldiers, with their families, and it's just a good feeling, but on the side where because at the end of the day it's a mission and you got higher ups putting the pressure down on us, that's the part I do not like, and that's the part that makes me not want to convert. I think I'm going to go back to the front lines. Also, if you plan on progressing career wise, recruiting might not be the right thing for you, because they are pretty much E7 and above slots filled, because you only need one E7 for station commander per station, right? You only need one first sergeant for a company. A company can cover a whole state. One company can cover like a half a state to a whole state. We only got 50 states in the United States of America. So if you do decide to convert, the chances of you becoming a first sergeant or command sergeant major unless you are just on some Rambo super soldier type stuff, your chances are going to be slim. You might end up capping off at E7 and having to retire as an E7. I have bigger plans for myself. So that can also, but if you're interested in going recruiting, I say take the experience. Experience the Army. Experience still being a soldier and being in the Army, but without the Army. You're technically a civilian. Experience it. Just make sure that you get a decent location, a location that is military friendly, or a location that you want to be in, like a certain state that you've always wanted to live in. If you get a city or a state that you do not like or don't want to be in, or is not military friendly, then you might not like it. You might not like it. It might not be worth it. But if you can, do it. I think it is a good experience. It's a good broadening assignment, and it's a way for you to relax from the front lines of the Army and get rejuvenated in case you decide that you want to go back to the front lines. Outside of that, if there's any other questions at all, if you are interested in joining the military, feel free to contact me. And if you are in the military and you want to know anything about the military and I can help and I can answer, I feel free. Like I said, I got my 6 and 6 years. I've been to air assault school. I've done equal opportunity. I've done sharp. I've done all these different schools, all these different things. I know how to get promoted. I know how to make sure that you ensure that you get the assignments that you want. You know, a lot of people don't know this. I know the game. I know how all of this goes. For the most part, I don't know everything, but if you have any questions and I have the answer, feel free to ask me and I will gladly answer it. Dual military as well. If you get put on assignment to go recruiting and you're dual military, they should cut the orders for your spouse to go to the nearest duty station towards you, or they might even put your spouse on orders to go recruiting as well if y'all are the same rank. I had two friends who they got put on assignment to go recruiting and they were dual military, and they I think in order for them to do it, I'm not 100% sure, I can't remember, they had their spouse had to also decide to go recruiting as well so that they can get in the same area. But I do have recruiting battle buddies who they're recruiters, but their spouse is active duty and they're just at the closest duty station. So it's one or the other. Either your spouse will have to become a recruiter too, or they'll put him in the duty station that's closest to where you're recruiting from. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it that I can think of. I'm pretty sure it's way much more, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So yeah, if you get the opportunity, do it. When you do your application, they're going to have a map for you to pick where you want to go. You get to pick 10 you get to pick 10 battalions or 10 brigades. It's like you pick the out of the 10 brigades, you pick like your top 3 or 2 from each brigade, and then before you go to school, they're going to contact you and tell you what they have available. They will try their best to get you where you want to be at, but it just depends on what's available. At first, my number one was Florida, and they didn't have any. Now, the class that I was originally supposed to go to, everybody got Florida, but by the time my class came, they didn't have any more Florida. Texas was number 2. They had it, so they asked me did I want it. I said yeah, I'll take it. They asked me what battalion I wanted to go to. I said Houston. And then from there, they also allowed me to pick what station I was going to be at in Houston battalion, and I did that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good night and hit me up. Ask me any questions. All right, one.